in our daily lives. We've spoken a little bit about the issues that have occurred, the seeming lawlessness that has taken place over the thing, and I expressed my happiness at his intervention yesterday in speaking to the country about what was going on, and the reinforcing of the authority of the state to make sure that these matters are dealt with. So this is the reason why he's here, and I thought we should give you a brief outcome of the visit. It has been a very warm and constructive feeling. The President and I have known each other for nearly 20 years. Yes. We met in Parliament in 1997 and have remained good friends ever since. So that's what has happened. Mr. President.
Well, President-elect John Dramani Mahama has expressed his appreciation for the warm reception he received from President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo following his visit to the Jubilee House for commencement of transition. He accepted the President's assurance of supporting him and his team through the transition process, adding that this team looks forward to the promised cooperation in due course. He further expressed his optimism about the transition process and the potential for continued collaboration. On Tuesday, Mr. Mahama announced a 10-member transition team tasked with overseeing the smooth transfer of power from the outgoing administration. Subsequently, President Akufo-Addo also appointed some persons to continue the government side of the transition team.
Thank you very much, Mr. President. As I said when I spoke after the declaration of results, I mentioned that His Excellency the President had given me a call to congratulate me. And so I had the opportunity to thank him this morning for being that gracious to give me that call. We had a very cordial meeting. At the time he called, he suggested 11 a.m. this morning to have the preliminary meeting towards setting up the transitional team, and that meeting has just ended. It was very cordial, and I think we were very happy to be together. Mr. President has given me a brief on the security situation, both internal and external, and also a short brief on issues to do with the economy. Of course, the transitional teams will drill down further into these matters, but I am happy at the assurance he's giving us that we're going to work together in the interest of Ghana to ensure a seamless transition. And I believe that even after that transition, it will be necessary for us to continue to keep a channel of communication so that Ghana's democratic credentials are consolidated, and we all work together in the national interest. And so I want to thank him for his time, and to assure him that on our side we are very happy to work together, and we'll look forward to the successful work of the joint transitional team.
Well, still in that, President-elect John Dramani Mahama has reassured Ghanaians of the strength and stability of the nation's democracy following the recent election. In a Facebook post on Wednesday, December 11, following his meeting with President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo at the Jubilee House in Accra, Mr. Mahama highlighted the successful electoral process and the importance of bipartisan cooperation in future and further strengthening Ghana's democratic credentials. Quoting, "Democracy and Ghana are the winners following the electoral process, despite the anxieties people had ahead of the elections and voting day. Ghana has done it again," unquote. He continues saying that we can be sure that democracy is safe, and by working together across bipartisan lines, we can continue to deepen and consolidate it. Away from that, the coalition of civil society organizations working on extravagancies, anti-corruptions and good governance has earnestly urged President-elect John Dramani Mahama to terminate the Strategic Mobilization Limited, which is the SML contract. The CSOs contend that the current SML contract has siphoned of millions of Ghana cedis into private ownership without providing adequate benefits to the country. They firmly believe that finding and ending this contract will effectively close a major revenue leak and help restore public trust in financial management. The CSOs include the Africa Center for Energy Policy, ACEP, Natural Resource Governance Institute, Ghana Anti-Corruption Coalition, iWatch Africa, Revenue Mobilization Africa, Third World Network Africa, Imani Center for Policy and Education, Center for Extractives and Development, Institute of Energy Security, and Human Environment and Livelihood. In a letter dated 11th December, the CSO wrote, quoting, "Your Excellency, the coalition stands ready to support the administration in implementing reforms that enhance transparency, accountability, and efficiency. To this end, we respectfully represent the following recommendations as critical priorities for the new administration. The recommendation include terminating the SML contract, which they described as a source of significant revenue loss. The CSOs further urged the president-elect to abolish the Japa royalties deal and review the Mineral Income Investments Fund Act, describing the agreement as a threat to Ghana's mineral wealth and citing widespread public opposition." Away from that, let's do some politics. The General Secretary of the New Patriotic Party, Justin Frimpong-Kodia, has called on civil society organizations and the Peace Council to pressure President-elect John Dramani Mahama to rein in supporters of the National Democratic Congress, NDC. This comes amid report of the post-election violence and hooliganism by some supporters of the National Democratic Congress across the country. Speaking at a press conference at the NPP headquarters in Accra on December 11, 2024, Mr. Kodio alleged that NDC supporters have targeted the homes of NPP members and caused disturbances in some areas following the party's victory in the general election. The NPP General Secretary also called on the Inspector General of Police to intervene and ensure that law and order is maintained in the affected areas. The NPP's appeal comes amidst growing concerns over a report of vandalism and harassment allegedly linked to the election aftermath.
On the National Peace Council, National House of Chiefs, Christian Council of Ghana, Catholic Bishop Conference, our National Chief Imam, organized labor, civil society organizations, the diplomatic community, to as a matter of agency and for the sake of our cherished and enviable record as a country that has for over 32 years practiced multi-party democracy, to come out and condemn the lawlessness from the NDC. And we call on the president-elect, Mr. John Dramani Mahama, to call his people to order and also allow the Electoral Commission to do its job. At the end of the day, that is the beauty of democracy. You can't have it all. Is it the case that the NDC is telling us that we are not needed in the next parliament?
Meanwhile, the majority leader of the outgoing parliament, Alexander Afenyo-Markin, at the press conference called on the leadership of the NDC to immediately rein in their supporters, as these actions are detrimental to democracy. He alleged that the NDC thugs were threatening the lives of various NPP parliamentary candidates, including himself, in an action he said does not improve democracy. Mr. Afenyo-Markin also alleged that the NDC is behind the disturbances and, in some cases, party bigwigs are providing resources to the thugs to continue their actions, moving from institutions to another.
North, for instance, the parliamentary candidate there is under siege. Yesterday, she had a sleepless night. All manner of persons were at her residence in search of pink sheets. The question is, why is the NDC so interested in destroying evidence? Why are they interested in capturing pink sheets to destroy them and set them ablaze? This woman, Madame Ekuya Afriye, had to run for her life. It took the timely intervention of the police. I would want to call on His Excellency John Dramani Mahama to stop his people, to speak to his party people. This is not democracy. This is not the democracy we've all worked hard for. The hypocrisy is becoming too clear day in, day out. All of us are being threatened. In my own constituency, for instance, they have now come out with a lie, and unfortunately some media personnel are following such lie to the extent that, to the effect that a certain NDC constituency vice chairman cannot be found.
Away from that, 4 individuals have been apprehended by the Ghana Police Service for allegedly stealing building materials designated for the Agenda 111 hospital project at Ewutu-Breko in the Central Region. The arrest, carried out on Tuesday, December 10, 2024, was made possible through the collaboration between the police and community members. According to the police statement, the suspects were caught and intercepted at a manned diesel truck with registration number GT8715-Z, driven by one of the suspects, Kwabinya Ajamba. The truck was found loaded with assorted building materials, and preliminary investigation revealed that the suspect claimed to have been contracted by the project's contractor to transport the materials to Tema. Efforts are also underway to apprehend the contractor allegedly involved in the incident. This case adds to a series of arrests, bringing the total number of individuals detained in connection with the post-election disturbances and related incidents to 110. Let's do some more news here. The Ghana Revenue Authority, GRA, has firmly denied recent reports suggesting its involvement in the auctioning of vehicles. In a statement released on December 11, the GRA described these claims as false and emphasized its adherence to established protocols for auctioning vehicles and goods through customs divisions. Tourism packages, the GRA further cautioned the public against falling victims to fraudulent schemes, urging individuals not to make payments to unauthorized persons or groups referenced in the false reports circulating in the media. Commitments to transparency and urge citizens to rely only on official communications for accurate information about its operation. Quoting, the Ghana Revenue Authority, GRA, has cited a fake media release on a vehicle auction dated December 3, 2024, purported to be coming from the Commissioner General of the GRA. The fake media release bears the signature of the former Commissioner General, Reverend Dr. Amishadai Owusu Amwa, but has not the name of the current Commissioner General, Madame Julie Esiam. The GRA wishes to inform the general public that the notice circulating in the public domain is fake. Away from that, the paramount king of all Igbos in Ghana, Dr. Amchuku Jude, has congratulated President-elect John Dramani Mahama for his victory in the just-ended general election. The traditional ruler made his statement during a brief press conference held at his palace. In his remarks, Dr. Enuotu praised the peaceful conduct of the elections and also expressed his hospitable Ghanaian in the Igbo community.
Igbo fathers in Ghana. I want to use the opportunity that I'm here with you to congratulate the President-elect, President John Dramani Mahama, a man that entire Ghana and the world have found him worthy to return back to do the work of God in because leadership is services to the people. It is work of God. So I am congratulating him on behalf of the Igbo community in Ghana. We say very big congratulations to President-elect of Ghana, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama. We pray that the Lord will give him all he has desired in his heart about Ghana. We pray that the Lord will give him men and women that will rule with him to make Ghana one of the best countries in the world. Ghana is so blessed. Ghana, they have shown too much love to us, we foreigners that live in Ghana. Ghanaians have shown too much love that you can't even express it. And the love they have shown to us, the foreigners in Ghana, we pray that the government of President Mahama will.
Meanwhile, Dr. Chukwudi Jude further called on other African nations to emulate Ghana's exemplary election process. Dr. Inhatu commended Ghana for its peaceful and transparent electoral system, which he described as a model for democracy in Africa. The Paramount King urged leaders across Africa to prioritize transparency, inclusivity, and fairness in their electoral process to strengthen democracy.
Ghana has been known as one of the best countries in the world with good governance since 1992. Ghana has been known as one of the countries that always conduct peaceful election. And today we have seen that. So as foreigners that live in Ghana, we want to say thank you to the entire Ghana for the good governance they have shown to the world. And we also call other countries in Africa to emulate the good work of Ghanaians in good governance and election coordinating. All these years in Ghana that we are working so hard to make sure we support the economy of Ghana. We've been on that. And we pray for Nigerians that live in Ghana and the foreigners that live in Ghana